Hello, Raptors fans, and welcome back to Raptors Report. I'm your host, Julian, and joining me as always is my co-host, Steve. Steve, how you doing?
I'm great, Julian. How you doing?
I am doing really well, especially considering the Raptors are on a 2-game winning streak. And let me tell you, those wins are legit.
They're so real, and we are one game away from another pizza party.
Let's go. All right. Yeah. So we have a lot to talk about in this episode. As I mentioned, the extremely real winning streak that the Raptors are on, the emergence of the Toronto Raptors' extremely real Big Three, all of the struggles that some of the bench are having, CMB's Rookie of the Year case. Gosh, we got a full show for you guys today. We got a lot of topics. We're right in the meat of the season. We're past the opening stuff. And now we get to, really discuss kind of what we're seeing from not only the Toronto Raptors, but also the conference as a whole and kind of the surprises of the season. Because as much as people, as smart as people are, and I count us among those people, you can't predict how things are going to turn out. Every season is sort of, a new can of worms. And there's always somebody who surprises you in a really good way and always somebody who surprises you in a really horrible way. And there's been a bunch of those this season for the Toronto Raptors. We've got, as I said, a whole bunch of really interesting topics for you today. But why don't we start with the first one? We kind of teased it by talking about how real these wins are with the Toronto Raptors. Why don't we talk about the Cavs game where the Raptors went into Cleveland and just tore their heart out with a huge win, and the win in Toronto against the Memphis Grizzlies. Steve, let me tell us about those monumental victories the Raptors were able to get in those games.
Good battle with two competitors, fully stocked teams. Yeah, they got some real good schedule kind of slash injury luck with those games. The Cavs notably missing like 4 or 5 important players. And of course, bad boy John Morant got himself suspended. So the Memphis Grizzlies were not full strength either. But to the Raptors' benefit, of course, as it helped them kind of get closer back to 500.
Yeah, and right now they could lose the remaining games, and the prediction, I believe we both said 3-7 for the first 10 games. We're right there. Maybe we were too pessimistic, but you're absolutely right. I mean, those wins were a lot of luck going on there. The Toronto Raptors didn't even really play that well in the not the Memphis game, excuse me. They played well in that game. In the Cavs game, they kind of crapped the bed and needed to be bailed out by, one battle after another. Jamison Battle, who literally had to be perfect from the field with one of the most efficient 20-point games of all time. And the reason it wasn't the most efficient 20-point game of all time was because instead of hitting another 3 for his 7th shot, he hit a 2. Oh, can you believe it? Instead of being 150 true shooting percentage, which is the maximum, he was 148 because he decided to dunk the ball instead of pulling up from 3 and hitting the 3. So
that's why Darko sat him the next game.
Exactly.
That's why. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, my cope here, and these weren't necessarily real wins, but at the same time, this was a tough part of the schedule. This was supposed to be pretty hard. A lot of the teams that the Toronto Raptors are playing are playoff teams, and a lot of the games were on the road. So, if you can get that hard part of the schedule to become a little easier, as I said in the video that I released today, maybe it gets the ball rolling a little bit.
Yep.
Do you think that there's something to that? Do you think that they can build off of this?
I think definitely. I think what they really needed was a couple of games to help get their feet under them and work out some kinks. And having kind of that room because the other teams were a bit weaker really gave them that chance. Like, obviously, still a lot of flaws in the Cavs game, but they looked a lot sharper in the Memphis game. And I do think that that kind of thing can build confidence and build continuity between the team, which is something that they really needed. Whereas, like, they've had to kind of hit the ground running, and it looked like they were never really had their feet under them. It looks like they were too disorganized and not sticking to the principles. And it seems like they're maybe getting a bit closer to that with a bit of luck of not having to face somebody who's going to punish you every time you make like a basic mistake.
Yeah, it's kind of like a vaccine
Yeah,
where you give your body like this little shrimpy kind of pathetic version of the virus to beat up on, and then your body's like, oh, I'm awesome, and then it can go out and kill the real virus, right?
I like that analogy. That's good. Yeah.
So maybe that's what's going to happen. I think tomorrow's game is going to be a really good test of that theory,
Hmm.
because the Toronto Raptors are going to be playing against a team that beat them already, the Milwaukee Bucks, and they're kind of rolling. Like Ryan
Yeah.
Rollins, he looks awesome. Giannis is playing like an MVP. They
Yeah.
got a whole ton of shooters. Like they look really good on offense, and they kind of came into Toronto and just ripped the game away from them, even though the Raptors were competitive until the end.
Yeah.
So it'll be kind of cool. Like if Giannis plays that game, I know that there's some question marks over whether he is going to be playing in that game on the back-to-back with the kind of weird thing that he's got going on.
Yeah.
But it'll be, if he does play in that game, then we can put the theory to the test over whether the sort of warm-ups against these depleted teams were actually, if they meant anything.
For sure. Yeah.
And then, then they have a couple of home games, and then they go on that 5-game Eastern Conference road trip, which
Yeah.
will also be kind of tough because a lot of the teams that were penciled in as maybe missing the playoffs, like the Philadelphia 76ers, they've actually been good this year. Like the Sixers
Hmm.
look good. Joel Embiid is playing in a limited role.
Yeah.
VJ Edgecombe is like a super rookie.
Yeah.
Maxey looks like he's going to be an all-star this season, maybe even all NBA, who
Yeah.
knows? And Grimes is like, he's actually like a real player. Like,
Yeah.
surprise, surprise. That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah. They can score the ball, and Nick Nurse always has something for us. So that I predict. I think I kind of have those when we did our pre-game things. I think I originally was like, yeah, we can steal these. I don't think they're going to be that good, but probably flipping on those now. They look pretty damn good.
Yeah, they do look good. So unless the Raptors are able to kind of string together a series of good games, Jakob Poeltl is questionable for the
Hmm.
Milwaukee Bucks game. He's got a bit of rest. I have not, again, not a doctor. I have no idea how long it takes for back stiffness to heal, but he looked terrible when he was playing. So
Yeah.
maybe he won't. I don't know.
If they do, maybe it'll just be as a little bit, like a couple minutes, 10, 15 to get back into playing. Maybe
Yeah.
that's how they approach it. We'll see, right? Like you don't exactly want him to stand in front of Giannis right away when he is trying to rehab from his back. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. No kidding. Okay. Let's move on. We're going to talk about the Toronto Raptors Big Three. Uh, of course, the video I did today was all about the Raptors Big Three. If you haven't watched that, go watch it right now. No, wait. don't go.
Leave
Don't
here,
go.
go watch it now.
Don't watch it right now. Watch this. Watch it after this video. How about that? And I've been just so impressed with those three on the offensive end.
Yeah.
I love how they look together. What are your big takeaways from watching these guys play together?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of concerns about how they would all fit together, and I think the guy that is mainly making them fit together is RJ Barrett. Taking a step back into a lower usage role, he's got the lowest usage of his career, but the highest efficiency of his career. He's making it all work. Like I think there's a quote from Jamal Shed from Grange's
Yeah,
piece.
it's Jamal Shed. Yeah.
Yeah, who basically said that like we don't even run plays for him. The ball just kind of finds him, and he just like what we've been complimenting RJ in the last couple of years is that he's able to, find his way into offense. That you don't really have to run stuff for him, and he's been all over that. Catch and shoot threes have been fantastic. He's been like over 70% at the rim. He is playing his best basketball in a long time, And I think that that is one of the key ingredients that is making this big three work. What about you? What do you think is?
Yeah, and it's also like the ball moving as well. Like
Yeah,
RJ is a willing ball mover. Scotty is a willing ball mover. RJ is a little, not RJ, excuse me. Ingram is a little less
yeah,
so, but he does pass the ball too. The idea behind the offense, I think maybe we should have seen this a little sooner, is that people were worried about him and Ingram not being able to play next to one another because they're
hmm,
kind of like, they both like the ball a little bit. But RJ has played the role of like second banana
yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this before, his relationship with, oh gosh. Okay, this is so embarrassing. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander
Oh, yeah,
on the Canadian national team, where he is like, first and second option together in one player, and you need a guy who can kind of play off of that.
yeah,
RJ has done that like really well. And he's doing that again. And the kind of odd man out, maybe we should have seen this sooner, is Emmanuel Quickly, who's a
yeah,
guy who kind of does want the ball in his hands a bit
yeah,
more, who is more of a pick and roll player, who
yeah,
is more of a guy who tries to run the offense. He's kind of been the one odd man out. Obviously, the Toronto Raptors are going to cater to Scotty Barnes. They're going to cater to Brandon Ingram. And then RJ Barrett has been kind of the glue that's filled the cracks in between those two players. And so, yeah, I think you're absolutely right that having a, third option, if you want to call it that,
mhm,
they're all pretty much at exactly the same usage percentage at
yeah,
around 25%. Uh, they have been playing pretty harmonious basketball with one another, especially on the offensive end. On the
yeah.
defensive end, it's a little different, but
Yeah, that's a bit of a mess there. But yeah, like yeah, offensively, if I can throw some numbers at you for the Raptors
oh,
offense
please.
here. Um, seventh highest in the league in team field goal percentage. They were like fourth before the last couple of games. It's just gone down a little bit. Number eight in pace, as we've seen, they're running. They're trying to play a fast pace, and they have the number one assist ratio in the league, which is exactly what you would hope for and expect with Darko's pass heavy offense, and it's translating. Like it's you've got multiple unselfish players who, I think part of it is that when we talk about Emmanuel Quickly's involvement in that, everybody else's unselfish nature kind of makes it look like he is being selfish when he calls his own number
Yeah.
if he's not going to get the result, right?
Yeah.
It's like if he dribbles too much, you're like, hey, swing the rock. Everybody else is swinging the rock, right? So, that's going to be an interesting thing that they're going to have to figure out. But in terms of those, those big three, not the three highest paid, but closest, three out of the four highest paid, are working very harmoniously and playing offensively fantastic.
I think one of the stats that you mentioned is important, which is the assist. Like a
Yep.
lot of the time, assists don't translate to success. I think that they've done an analysis where it shows that assists per game and wins are like not correlated at all.
Yeah.
What I'll say though, I think that if you want to have three scorers, three like plus 20 point per game scorers, I don't know if they'll end up at the end of the season with everybody having over 20 points. But if you want to get close to that, you can't do it with ISO ball, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I think that just your turn, my turn basketball is it's not going to work when
Hmm.
you want. I think the three main options have to be kind of sharing the ball with one another in the possession as it goes forward.
Yeah.
And so it's not a surprise to me that having success with three scoring options has success in a system like Darko's where people are sharing the ball. So I do like the way that the offense is looking. I think that they're definitely cooking with something
Hmm.
with these three. And now it just remains to be seen whether the Raptors can improve defensively.
Yeah.
And I think that the big thing with that is the guy who is absent right now, Jakob Poeltl, who is, I'll say this right now, he is a good defender.
Yep.
I think an average defensive center with other skills on the offensive end. He's a very good rebounder. The Raptors
Yep.
have not been a good rebounding team with him out.
They're
So
the
it's not like he's,
fourth worst in the league.
yeah, exactly. There's another reason for that. We can talk about that now if you want to.
Yeah.
So just conceptually, if you're a very so the Raptors commit a lot of turnovers and they generate a lot of turnovers. So what that means is that there are going to be less possessions that end in a rebound. Because when a
It's true.
possession ends because of a turnover, there's no rebound, right? So if your whole system on defense is geared around turning other teams over, and you commit a lot of turnovers on the other end, you're going to get less offensive rebounds. You're going to
It's
get
true.
less defensive rebounds. So I think it is a problem, but at the same time, I think it could be a little misleading, just painting them as a terrible rebounding team, because I think that the three guys that we're talking about, RJ, Scotty, and Brandon Ingram, they're all
Yep.
good rebounders. Like
Yep.
they're not bad rebounders for their positions. But
Mix in CMB to that as well, right? Like,
Mhm. Although
yeah.
if you're playing him at center or Scotty at center, they're going to be a little under the bar
Yeah.
for rebounds per minute. But
Yeah.
that's all kind of uh, neither here nor there. It's not really to the point, but I do think that I don't think that Jakob Poeltl coming back is going to be like a miracle cure. It's not like the Raptors are getting prime Rudy Gobert back, and he's just going to take a magic eraser to all of the problems that they have on that end. But he is 7 feet tall. He is a
Yep.
good positional defender. He is going to clean up some of the messes. He's going to fix a lot of the rebounding issues. He'll help. Maybe
Yep.
he's not going to take them to a top 10 defensive rating, but I don't expect them when he comes back, and if he's healthy, especially for them to be dead last
Yeah.
or close to it, whatever they're at right now.
There's defensive rating wise, they're like seventh worst, and all the teams behind them are like the Wizards
Moderate
and the
teams.
Nets, like terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, so yeah, big three. Loving what I'm seeing from them on offense. Next, we're going to talk about the Freaky Friday shooting. And this is Steve's idea because it is really Freaky Friday. Like, if you went into the
Yeah.
season saying, oh, yeah, Scotty's going to be a 50% 3-point shooter 8 games or 7 games into the season, RJ is going to be close to 40%. Grady Dick is going to suck. Ochai Agbaji is going to be shooting 9%. Jacoby Walter is going to be shooting a similar percent. You'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, well, that sounds unlikely.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening. What's your take? Like, why?
Yeah.
What's happening?
It's insane. It literally feels like a flip because you got five guys shooting over 45%. You got seven guys shooting over 37%. And like none of those guys are at Manuel Quickly, Grady Dick, Jacoby Walter. These guys that are like their MO is shooting. We drafted Grady and Jacoby as shooters. And the guy that we drafted as the he's never gonna shoot it guy, Colin Murray Boyles, is shooting like 47 or 50%, whatever he's at right now. It's it's
Up is
it's
down, down is up.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. So you think that there's going to be some kind of regression to the mean where these guys' numbers come back down, these guys' numbers bump back up. Hopefully that equals still a successful basketball team, right? But we've seen these stretches from Scotty before where it's highly productive 3-point shooting, but the threes he's taking is a lot more in his wheelhouse of these
Yeah.
catch and shoot threes from the top of the key, from the wing, right? So hopefully that's a bit more sustainable.
Mhm.
He's not taking, threes that you don't expect him to make. Collins feels somewhat sustainable because his form looks better than it ever has.
Yeah.
And he's taking them in good spots. He's just taking open threes and hitting them.
He's
And
got that little pigeon toe thing kind of going
mhm,
on, or whatever you call it when you point your toes inwards that
yeah,
Siakam used to do.
yeah,
But at the same time, you're right. The release seems a lot faster, and
yeah,
it's he's shooting them with confidence. So yeah, but maybe we can fold this into one of the other points that we had here, which is the struggles of the kind of young guys, the young bench
yeah,
guys, who we were kind of going on and on about how they're going to push each other for
yeah,
minutes, and these guys are the wings that nobody's talking about, and one of them's going to pop off. Well, about that, yeah, Grady,
yeah,
Jacoby, Ochai, they're all struggling, and a lot of it is because of what we're talking about. They're not shooting the ball very well.
yeah. And Ochai being at 9% is crazy. That's a regression to worse than his worst season. So you got a feeling that that's got to come back. I don't really know what's going on with his shot. There's nothing kind of obvious, right? Um, but like I don't know where the battle is for who's getting on the floor. saying Battle alone, Battle is outplaying all three of them
Yeah.
as the guy that should be that shooter off of the bench right now, right? Um, you know, they just Jacoby hasn't even really been that productive out of a defender. He's got some nice rebounds. He's got around some screens nicely, but he honestly looks too light. Like
Yeah.
he's rocking a t-shirt now, which usually suggests that you're
Underweight.
lacking. Yeah, exactly, right. And he seems like it. He gets bumped off his spot really easily, and he's really struggling to even get minutes. Darko has multiple games not even put him in the game, right? So,
Yeah.
I think we had higher hopes for Jacoby sophomore season, and so far he's like 3 points per game and 22% from three and like 30 some odd
Yeah.
true
Some
shooting.
pretty poor
Pretty
offensive
ugly.
numbers.
Yeah.
And Ochai, I mean, Ochai is an older player. He's the exact opposite of Jacoby in terms of his physique. Like the guy's
Yeah.
like looks like a statue.
Yeah.
And he's obviously athletic. He can dunk the ball, but his offensive productivity is based almost entirely around his ability to shoot the 3-point
Yeah.
shot. He does not have a handle. He's good in transition, but that's
Yep.
about it. And he kind of needed a 3-point shot, a consistent 3-point shot, in order to get rotation minutes.
Yeah.
And so when you have all three of those players struggling, it kind of makes the Toronto Raptors like a lot shallower. Like,
Yeah.
because you were hoping, like, it's a numbers game, right? You're hoping that one of those guys could become a rotation player that is
Yep.
going to carry the minutes load. I mean, Ochai is the guy who's getting the minutes right now because he is probably the most mature of them,
Hmm.
and he's still a good defender.
Yeah.
But the Grady, his minutes are going up and down. He played 20 minutes last night. His defense is terrible.
Yeah.
Jacoby's a good positional defender, as you said. He can get around screen. He can create turnovers as well with his hands and
Yeah.
energy. But as you said, he's a little light, and
Hmm.
I'm just not like, this group needs to do something. Like
Yeah.
I'm worried that they're all gonna suck.
Yeah, honestly, if none of them come back around, then your bench production is basically, which is, I mean, pushing CMB back to the bench, if that's what happens with Yak coming back, will add some bench production because he's been very productive so far. But it's really on Mamu and CMB and Jamal Shed, and you're getting like almost nothing from your two and your three spot of that lineup. Really not great.
No.
And
It
and they're
helps that like the starters, like, who play 33 minutes a
yeah.
game, they're doing really well.
Mhm.
They're good at those spots, but they're not deep. So
Yeah.
that's a real issue at this point.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to solve that just by being a little less like, they're trying different lineups and whatnot.
Yeah.
So hopefully, oops, we've got a little technical difficulty. Apologies for that. 1 second, let me just fix the browser here. Gosh,
No worries.
that stinks. Is that going to work? That will be, that's good enough. There we go. Okay, I fixed the issue. Sorry, everyone. Nope, I unfixed the issue. I unfixed the issue. We'll get this figured out.
I'll read chat real quick. I see, should we go for Jaw?
Oh, yes, that's a good question,
Uh,
actually.
Exciting player, but does he solve our issues? I don't know. There's been some conspiracy theories flying around from, what is it, Draymond Green, that he's intentionally sucking or something to try to get moved. I don't know what's going on with that, but
Okay, we're
yeah,
back. Yep.
he's not a 3-point shooter, so it doesn't really solve some of the issues we're having at the guard spot.
No,
And
he's not a 3-point shooter. He's also not a defender. So, like,
yeah,
think of the two things. Like, number one, yes, he's really good. He probably would make the Toronto Raptors a better team
hmm
offensively.
yeah,
But he's like the opposite of what they need. He can't shoot the three, and he sucks on defense.
yeah,
And they've got some guys like that right now. So,
yeah,
yeah, I would like a guy like Jalen Suggs
yeah,
at the one for the Toronto Raptors. He's
yeah,
probably not available. But there are a couple of guys like that. Like, kind of like Marcus Smart type guards,
Yep.
guys who can. I mean, Marcus Smart was never a very good shooter, but you know,
If Yeah, if Drew Holiday wasn't 1,000 years old,
oh yeah,
my first
exactly.
thought would be Drew Holiday. Like even so, he's got more in the tank. But depending on what you'd have to move to do that, that would really be like an all-in kind of push that you're trying to go for a very short-term satisfaction. So I don't really know how that fits with everything, but
Well, there is this guy off of the bench. His name's Jamal Shed, and he has been quite good. And he is a good defender. His three
yeah,
point shot is coming along. You know, maybe the
yep,
Raptors could put some more minutes into Jamal Shed and see what they've got there.
yep,
There's also another cope that I have because I've been defending Emmanuel quickly like
yeah.
nonstop for the past couple of weeks since he's.
Someone has to.
I like the Baghdad Bob, if you remember that stupid meme, which I think is considered pretty uh, unacceptable because he was like one of the Ba'athist, or I think Ba'athist members of the Iraqi
Yeah,
regime, and he was saying like everything's okay, it's good,
yeah.
we're winning the war or whatever. So that I can't continue to defend him with the same vigor that I have,
Hmm.
but my latest cope is that he needs Jakob Pertl back. He needs
Yeah,
the safety blanket. He needs those screens from Jakob Pertl, those meaty screens, so that
yeah.
he can actually get into the paint and make plays for people.
Well, yeah, like Scotty doesn't really make a lot of contact on screens,
No,
so
he's a
you're not
slip
really
screen
getting,
guy.
yeah, you're not really getting any separation. What I found is that Scotty seems to hit that so quick because he's trying to just immediately roll to the net and get
Yeah,
the pass, and he's not really getting himself much separation from his own defender. So when somebody like IQ, who is a bit slower of a passer, he takes an extra second to process that. So it's like he's just not going to hit you on that, you know.
no. Maybe CMB could get some reps with IQ and
Yep.
have. But you're absolutely right. Like the screens that Jakob Pertl sets, he's setting them to get the guard free so
Yeah.
that he can get into that mid range area where he used to have the push shot,
Yep.
but he has been either hobbled by injury or out,
Mhm.
so we haven't been able to see Emmanuel quickly at full strength. And I'm
Yep.
sticking to that. That's my story here. He's
I
not
mean,
an albatross.
no, he's a guy who his shot is a little slower, right? So getting more space on his shot should definitely help him be able to hit it. If he feels a defender closing out, he might be rushing his release a little bit. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why he is all of a sudden not a good three-point shooter. So you know what, I can buy into that, Cope. We have to see it. We have to see, um, a lot of point guards have that relationship with their center, and yeah, it totally makes sense, and perhaps we should withhold some judgment on him until he gets to play with his center he's been trying to form a relationship with for a lot.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so let's talk CMB. CMB, he's the newest kid on the block,
Yep.
and boy, does he look good. I really, really liked him in that game
Yeah.
against the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yep.
I thought it was his best game of the season, best all around game. He didn't hit any threes, so there's that against him, but his defense was awesome.
Hmm.
His hands were amazing. He had assists. He also kind of cleared up a problem that I was having with him, which was the fact that he wasn't rebounding very well.
Yeah.
And he had 9 rebounds in that game. With that said, against a front court, the Memphis front court does not like to rebound the ball. Triple J is allergic to them. Santi
Yeah.
Aldama, Jock Landale, those guys aren't like superstar rebounders. So
Yeah, they're all tall for no reason. Yeah.
exactly. So he had a great game.
Yeah.
His passing is so cool.
Yeah.
Like the passes, like he and RJ have like a really nice thing going
Yeah.
on. The ball is flowing between the two of them. In the pick and roll, CMB is setting a nice screen for him. Sometimes he holds onto the ball and then hits RJ with like an over the top pass.
Yeah.
RJ is finding him on the roll. Like it looks really good in a bunch of
Yeah.
different ways for him. And
Yeah, he got robbed of that really cool behind the back
yeah,
dunk pass from RJ to the dunk because Santi Aldama interfered with the hoop. But
yeah,
yeah, they've had some really nice chemistry. And like I made this point in my CMB video, because when you go over like hours and hours of his tape from college, you see how good of a passer he is,
Yeah.
and his assist numbers are not where they should be because his team sucked and bricked like half of the really cool passes that he gave them.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see him really let it fly with those passes because he is a very talented passer, and like that'll take his game to the next level if he's you know doing those kind of post hub things that Darko had hoped. Like he had hoped that Mobo could be that. He was like, oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna give him some kind of post hub and let him. It's like he doesn't really have that all the way in his game, but there's a lot of upside with Colin in that way.
Well, one of the things, like, there's a through line with all of the skills that he has.
Hmm.
So his touch around the basket, his steals, and his
Yep.
assists, like that,
Yep.
just it, hand-eye coordination
Yeah.
and control of his
Yeah.
hands. So those three things, like, they're all connected. Like
Hmm.
they're all like coming from a similar place.
Yeah.
And he had like some unbelievable drives and finishes to the rim.
Yeah.
And even in university, like as you were saying, like he wasn't able to show the passing. What he
Yeah.
was able to show at like a really high level was his finishing ability and
Yeah.
his driving ability.
Yeah.
And when he, like, first of all, he's really fast, so he
Yeah.
can get to the rim really, really quickly,
Yeah.
kind of get his defender on the back foot. And then he's like stout, so he can
Yeah.
absorb contact. And then his arms are long, so he can get the ball up near the rim. And then he has really good touch and hand-eye coordination, so the ball goes in. And we saw
Yeah.
like a multiple drives last night where he just got right to the rim and
Yeah.
put it in through like a tough contest.
Yeah.
And he just kept doing that. And that is really high level skill. Like
Yeah.
that's going to translate in the NBA. If you can drive and score at the rim, like you're going to stick in the league, especially if you're
Definitely.
like a big man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really, really loving how he's playing. And you put in here, we're talking about his Rookie of the Year case, and he's
Yeah.
on the Rookie of the Year ladder, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
He
is.
entered recently. I'm not sure what place he's in, but I think that he's going to be on the Rookie of the Year ladder for a while, just
Yeah.
based on how he's playing.
And Dylan Harper's injured, so he's going to miss some time. So he'll slide a bit in those rankings. And Cooper Flag has been kind of up and down, not exactly meeting those crazy expectations people put for him. So yeah, it's good to see. Like from Twitter here, I don't know if you know ISPN needs IKD, right?
Yes, I do.
He
Yeah.
he broke down he omitted that first game that we're pretending didn't happen. And so Colin over his last four games, 13.3 point per game, 4.3 rebound per game, 2 assists, 52.5 field goal percentage, and 53-point field goal percentage with 1.5 steals. Pretty impressive for a rookie who's getting about 20 minutes a game.
Yeah.
It is like if we remember, Scotty was getting like 30 minutes a game as a rookie and putting up like 15 points a game.
Yeah.
So pretty damn impressive. Pretty good for a ninth overall pick.
Yeah, absolutely. And like he played another Rookie of the Year contender, Cedric Coward last night,
Yeah.
outplayed him, had a bunch of moves where he just went right past Coward, made him look small under the rim.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of steals. Like
Yep.
he outplayed him, and
Yep.
I just like watching him play. Like
Yeah.
I think that his game is one of those things where you're never going to get the full experience through a stat sheet, even though the
Yeah.
stats are good, because he has so many aspects to his game that kind of pass the eye test.
Yeah.
And I think that if he were playing in a marquee like environment, he would be getting like super hyped up because
Definitely.
he plays the right way. And if you have a lot of eyeballs on him, people are going to start to notice how he plays.
Yep.
And yeah, I think the Toronto Raptors made the right pick here. I was big on CMB. I thought they might have taken Common Malawatch at his pick, and thankfully they didn't.
Yeah.
He looks at least a couple of years away from being an NBA
Definitely.
player if he ever gets there.
Yeah.
And obviously everybody's saying, oh, the Raptors need a center.
Mhm.
Listen, CMB can play a lot of positions. It's not time to worry about positions, especially when you're in the draft. When you're picking with the 9th pick, you take the
Yeah.
guy who you think is going to pan out and be the best player.
Yeah.
And guys, the Raptors got a good one here. Okay. I know it's early. I know that a lot of people like hype up the rookies and whatnot. When I was watching this guy in college, I was like, this guy's really good. He was my sleeper pick for like a long time.
Yeah.
And when the Raptors drafted him, I was like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
the Raptors got a real one. And he's shown it. Like it's immediate. Like you watch him play the game, he's scoring really well. The shooting is coming along. Like the hands are definitely a big thing. And the rebounding was a concern, but now it looks like, maybe that isn't going to be a concern.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, super pumped, super happy to see
Yeah.
Colin Murray Boyles on that Rookie of the Year ladder, and hopefully he, takes he's the next one. Scotty Barnes.
He's making a huge case for a rookie, like all rookie team, right?
Yes,
Like, I mean, this has been a pretty damn good class so
for
far.
sure.
There's a lot of guys playing great. There's some guys who haven't really touched the floor yet, right? So it's like there's a couple guys like Asenge and stuff that it's like he's far away, Malawach far away. These guys aren't really going to be in that conversation. So, I mean, I think preseason it was like, oh, it'd be great if he made second team. Now it's like he's got a real case for first team if he keeps this up.
No doubt about it. I'm just very happy with what he's been doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move along. I like this talking point. This is a mostly Steve generated list because if you've been following my ongoing saga with my health, I've had the flu for the past couple of days. God, it has been horrible. So I asked Steve, begged him, I'm like, you got to make the list for today. And he came up with some good ones. So this one I like because I am a cup respecter. I don't know who started the meme. I think it might have been the Ball crew, but they said, you got to respect the NBA Cup. And let me tell you, I do, especially now that the Raptors are 1-0.
Yeah.
They're 1-0 in the Cup. They're undefeated in the Cup.
We have a chance for once.
I know.
Usually we lose the first game and we're like, well, we're
It's
out
over.
of the cup.
Yeah. I think you get I think teams that are 3-1 usually advance based on point differential. But if you lose the first one, like, come on.
Yeah.
It's over.
And we beat the team that was going to be the hardest in our group.
There you go.
We stole one.
Is Atlanta in the Raptors group?
It is. It's Atlanta Pacers. I don't want to get this wrong, but I think it's
Ooh.
Atlanta Pacers, Cavs, us, and maybe where is it? NBA Cup.
Okay. We're doing some on-the-fly research. This is what you can expect from this podcast. We're not going to leave any stone unturned.
If we don't know the answer. Wizards as well. It's Atlanta, Cleveland, Pacers, and Wizards, and we beat Cleveland already.
4-0?
I mean, look at that, right? Like, and if Atlanta does, I mean, we'll see if they're better or worse without Trey, but Atlanta's not going to have Trey, right? So yeah, we could be making a run for the and I said this today. The NBA Cup matters more than the NBA championship. Everybody's got an NBA championship.
Exactly.
But only a few people have an NBA Cup ring.
Absolutely. Totally. 100% agreed. The NBA championship is overrated. The Raptors already have one. Like, you don't need two. No. Just one, and then you get the cup, and then you've got, the set. You can put them next to each other on your mantelpiece.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm obviously a huge cup believer. And now that you've mentioned the teams that the Raptors are playing against in the cup, we can start getting our hopes up a little bit.
Yeah.
My God, I am like mega pumped for the Toronto Raptors cup games. And I know the group stage, it's just kind of like the regular season kind of. Yeah. But when you start getting into the elimination stages, it does get kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I know that a lot of people, I mean, myself included, when they were in the cup, the past couple of seasons, they were, they felt like regular season games, especially when they were eliminated. It was just like regular season games with a fancy court.
Yeah.
This year, it seems like if the Raptors are able to advance past the group stage, we'll be getting like an actual thing. Like we'll be actually getting a real little mini tournament within the season. And I've really enjoyed watching like the knockout stages just with other teams too. I like watching NBA basketball. Any excuse I can get to watch NBA basketball, I'm doing it. And so this will be a pretty exciting event if the Raptors manage to get in. So yeah, that is a really good point. Gosh, I wouldn't have thought of that one. Good job, Steve.
Yeah. Hey, no. And like, there's a fun little moment at the end of the game against Cleveland where RJ was trying to dribble it
Oh,
out, and
right.
Scotty was like, hey, you got to go score because point differential matters, right? So, they were able to get that in there. And, typically that's a disrespectful thing to do.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Right? RJ was doing the typical, like, oh, I'll just be nice and dribble it out. No, you got to score. As we've seen the last couple of years, when teams just run up the score on us as we suck, and we're just like, can you please stop scoring? But they need the differential for the cup, right? So that was a
That was
pretty
a
cool.
smart move from Scotty.
Yeah,
And a lot of
I
people
was
like,
thinking.
well, because like one of the like unfortunate stereotypes that a lot of people put on him, especially
Yeah,
when he was younger, like I think it's died down a little bit
yeah,
because people have gotten used to him, is that he's like a
yeah,
little odd. Like
yeah,
he's not a like a I don't want to say he's like neurodivergent or something or
yeah,
whatever they call it these days, but like he's a little weird and he
yeah,
doesn't care. He doesn't
yeah,
care at all. He doesn't let anybody
yeah,
any of that bother him. But people were saying like this guy's autistic. He's,
yeah,
our word that I'm not going
yeah,
to mention so we don't get demonetized.
yeah,
But like when you watch him play the game,
yeah,
the guy is like, he knows what's going on. Like
yeah,
he's really smart on the
yeah.
basketball court. He knows exactly where everybody is. He knows what's going on. He's like a really high processing player. So like
And
that
he was,
criticism is just so stupid.
yeah, and at Montverde, he had higher grades than Cade. He was on a
I didn't know
roll,
that.
right? So yeah,
That's incredible. Yeah.
yeah, only guy that performed better in school than him was Dayron Sharp,
There you
who
go.
was
I didn't know that.
yeah, who was ever like whatever that is, like cum laude, like top. Yeah, anyway,
Summa cum laude.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, but
Magna cum laude is I think summa cum laude is the top and then magna cum laude is the
yeah,
second.
I think Magna was what Scotty was, and I think Dayron Sharp there was summa cum
Well, there you go. But
laude.
like the thing is that like Scotty seems like very nice and very positive and very kind of like, and people take that it's like as like a childlike thing where
Yeah,
it's like he's very happy and he's outgoing and he's a little odd. So people are
yeah,
like, oh, okay, well he's got a mental disability, which
yeah,
is so reductive and unfortunate that I'm surprised people ran with it after
yeah,
season one. Like it
yeah,
seems like it's still like lingering. Thankfully, it's died down a little bit. It was very
yeah,
annoying, but he's clearly not a dumb guy.
yeah.
Anyway, I want to mention that. So why don't we just talk here? We've got some clips here from last night's game. Maybe we can discuss a little bit about how RJ is playing because we've already touched on it and how he's kind of the glue that's holding the Toronto Raptors together between, Ingram and Scotty Barnes. Like he's just kind of doing the other stuff. Why don't we take a look at some of the offensive possessions that he had the other day, or excuse me, last night. We'll just switch over here. We'll just go through some of the possessions here. So the first one was this nice out of bounds play. So sideline out of bounds. They run a screen where Ingram is the decoy, and he runs the screen for RJ Barrett. So basically, he draws two, like there's a tag on the screen, and then RJ Barrett just slashes to the rim, and Colin Murray Boyles makes a really nice over the top pass. And it was a nice sideline out of bounds play. RJ obviously flushes it. He's looking very explosive this season,
Hmm.
but that was more of a play design. Like it's less about him and more about the Memphis Grizzlies not looking very sharp
Yeah,
defensively, and him being guarded by a guy who's like smaller and slower than him, getting hung up on a screen.
yeah.
So it's not necessarily, and no backline, like Triple J was distracted. So he just got all the way to the rim.
And you see a little bit of craft from Ingram on that as he grabs a little bit of Pat Spencer's hand as he goes past too. I like that.
Oh yeah, you got to cheat on screens.
Yeah,
Everybody does it, and if you're not doing it, then you're not
you're not trying.
you're not
You're not
trying.
cheating.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
You're not cheating, not trying. Okay. So this one, I believe it's a fast break play. Memphis has the ball. Wells puts up the shot. Long rebound. They get it out to RJ. Grady did a good job of running the floor, and RJ is able to, like, he sheds the primary defender. Okay, we're getting some loading problems here. The guy who's on him, it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He just kind of cradles the ball and takes his 2 steps and gets to the rim. Nice finish there. Scotty Barnes gets his own offensive rebound, kicks it out. RJ hits the 3. That has been a big part of his game so far this season. He has always just like, he's not an off the dribble 3-point shooter. He's a floor spacer. He's an opportunistic catch and shoot spot up 3-point shooter, and he knocks down the 3. Although it is a bit of a relocation 3, because he, I believe, took a shot before this, maybe.
I think so. And then he just kind of does a little lap around the baseline, and the defense loses him entirely.
Is that hold on? Let me go back to this. So yeah, and the defense loses him. He's wide open in the corner, and he cashes the 3. It's a good ball movement, good recognition by Scotty Barnes. RJ flaring out to the corner. Nice move by him. This is another sideline out of bounds play where it's a bully ball move because Jalen Wells is smaller than RJ. That's one of RJ's best attributes as a player, is that for a guard wing, like he plays shooting guard, basically. So the player that's going to match up against him, probably not going to be as physical as him. So they have Jalen Wells on him, and he just he gets a step on him, no doubt about it, but then he puts him in the basket. Like he gets his shoulder into Jalen Wells and bodies him, takes him under the rim, puts the ball up and in, gets the and 1. Love that. RJ in transition, he sees Pat Spencer's on him. He's like, this guy can't guard me. He puts his shoulder into him again. Pat Spencer goes flying like he got shot by a sniper, and RJ lays it up and in. Okay, so let's see this one. Okay, CMB, he shoots the 3, misses it. RJ skies for the tomahawk putback jam. One of the plays of the game. He was dunking all over the place. Nice play by him. Here's a free throw, one of his only free throw misses. He had 7 free throws, missed 2. Anyway, he missed that one, but got his own rebound. Oh, no, sorry. Scotty got the rebound, excuse me. Pass back out, pass around the horn. Scotty hits him back. And then this is just such a nice move from RJ. He gets Santi Aldama under the basket. Santi Aldama leaves his feet. Scotty Barnes waits for him to come down and then makes the layup. Great play. Patient play. Crafty play. He's very crafty under the rim. This one is just a Memphis Grizzlies breakdown. The defense loses RJ. KCP, I believe, is the supposed to be the defender on RJ there, but he kind of falls for the gravity of Grady Dick, and as a result, 2 go to Grady Dick, and then RJ is wide open and he posterizes the help defender, who's Jock Landale. Great move by him. This is a nice screenplay to get Jacoby going to the basket. Jacoby gives it up. And then this is another kind of like movement involved 3-point shot. So this is almost like basically a pull-up shot, even though it will probably be classified as a spot up too if you looked in Synergy or whatever, where Scotty gets it back out to him. And he kind of does a jab step to get the defender going backwards. But then he pulls back and hits the 3-point shot. So there's a little bit of like a difficulty on that. And he makes the 3. So that's really nice to see. Even though he was 2 for 8 last night from 3, I still think that he can be a good 3-point shooter. This is a right-handed drive. So that's important. But of course, okay, so this is RJ. Teams play him for the left hand. He's a left-handed driver. In this play, he drives to the right. So KCP is sitting on his left side. RJ is a left-handed finisher. He likes to finish with his left. So he uses his shoulder to push I think that's Coward, actually, excuse me, to push Coward off, and then finishes with the left hand. Just like the moves are not complicated. Okay. He's not blowing the doors off with these like fancy moves where he's like taking guys off of the dribble. Like he did do a good job driving into the paint, but he's a strong guy. He has good instincts, and he's crafty with the ball. So like that was a really nice move. Hit them with the shoulder.
And he keeps his dribble, and he doesn't pick his dribble up until he's got 2 feet in the restricted area to put a shot up. That is something that so many players struggle with. Scotty struggles with that. Emmanuel quickly certainly struggles with that. But RJ, he's strong. He keeps the dribble until he's at his spot. and he's usually pretty patient around the basket. And yeah, like he's shooting this season, best he's ever shot around the rim and best free throw percentage he shot in Toronto. It's he's got it all working, it really seems.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The defense, I mean, I'm not going to put lipstick on a pig here. He still has
Yeah.
big problems with help
Yeah.
defense. He is often very late on closeouts.
Mhm.
He overhelps. He loses track of who he's supposed to be guarding. There are issues there.
But it's honestly been harder to even notice because of how they're doing these blind doubles, and they're doing this all kinds of stuff where they are behind the ball movement. So it doesn't even look like it's RJ's fault when this
Everybody's
happens.
doing it. Everybody's
Yeah, right.
helping. Everybody's
So
running around, and it kind of looks
yeah,
like you can't put the blame entirely on RJ.
when you triple Şengün and leave KD open for three, like,
Yeah, yeah.
do you really care about what RJ was doing on the play? So yeah, like I'm not gonna really hound him on what we know is a weak point for him comparatively to him really accentuating his strengths, right? Which is kind of a good
Absolutely.
way to combat a weak point, if you can do your strengths better.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And I will say that it's not like he is like all thumbs, like all negatives on the defensive end. He does have some good attributes. His lateral foot speed's pretty good for a wing. He is a strong player. You can't get past him just by pushing him out of the way. He's a good rebounder. There are some things that he brings to the table that make him not a complete minus on that end. It's not like you're Trey Young or something like where you're too
Yeah,
small, you can't guard on the ball, and then you also have the help defense problems.
yeah,
So there's some things that are okay. And let me tell you, there's a lot of players in the league who are kind of one-way players, and they're still good. Like, okay, number one, Luka Doncic. Like,
yeah.
RJ is not Luka Doncic. Please don't clip this and
Clip it now.
make me seem stupid. Luka Doncic is garbage on
Yeah.
defense. He is so bad.
Hmm.
He doesn't try. He often makes mistakes on that end. He gets it like he is similar in that he's like you can't push past him because he's like a blob of meat and like you can't get past him that easily. But he's not a good defender, and he
Yeah.
is still one of the best players in the entire league.
Hmm.
You can build around players like that if you've got defensive personnel
Yeah.
that can pick up the slack.
Yeah.
And the problem with the Toronto Raptors is that their backcourt of IQ, RJ, and Ingram, that's a lot of holes to plug.
Yeah.
Ingram has the opposite problem. I mentioned this all in the video today that I did. Ingram is a good help defender, and he's active in the passing lanes, and he's got long arms, and he can like pitch in with rim defense and stuff like that. But his foot speed is terrible,
Yeah.
and so guys drive past him. And then
Yep.
Emmanuel quickly, he usually is okay at screen navigation and stuff, but they got him
Yep.
doing wacky stuff.
Yeah.
He's like trying to steal the ball. He's trying to like create deflections, like doing all this
Yeah.
stuff that's not in his bag. And
Are
so
you?
it's been a disaster defensively with those three. And then no Pirtle. Like there's
Yeah.
nobody to clean up those messes.
Yeah. Are you familiar with like you've seen those videos of like really fast workers, right? Where they're like moving all
Yes.
whatever. Well, there's one of like an Indian guy making drinks, but he's not actually moving fast.
Yes,
He's
yes.
just shaking his head a
He's
lot.
shaking his head back and forth. I love that
Yeah,
video.
and the caption of it is like, bro's not even moving fast, he's just moving his head. And it's
Yeah.
like that's what it seems like Quickly's doing a lot of the time on the court
Yeah.
where yeah, he's moving around fast a lot, but he's not really like doing anything, right? So
No.
yeah, there's obviously the guard pairing has some weak points. I think the Raptors would be entirely cooked if Scotty wasn't a two-way player.
No, absolutely.
So but yeah, they've got some things to work out with that, but right now it really does seem like it's defensive scheme that they're struggling to keep up with. Whereas uh, other coaches, and I'm going to give Darko some grace because he's trying to implement a system and that takes time. But other coaches kind of look at the guys that they have and they go, okay, you're slow. You're not a good help defender. You're not this. Okay, well, we're going to play some zone. We're going to play some whatever because we can't actually match up well with guys, right? And it doesn't seem like we're necessarily trying to play defense to the personnel that we have, rather
No.
shape the personnel to the
Yeah.
defense that you want to have,
Yeah.
which is like that's the NBA trend. We've seen data come out that aggressive defense is what is the new meta, right? As you've said, we've said,
Yep.
it's a copycat league, right? So unless you're trying to reinvent the wheel and be like, actually, we're the team that isn't aggressive now. Like, I don't
Yeah.
really think that's going to work out for them. So there's going to be probably a pretty steep learning curve with a lot of the guys as they try to implement that defense.
It's definitely aspirational. And also I think that
Yeah.
like this is like a live laboratory, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out like the problem with the live laboratory is that Emmanuel Quickly's being paid a gazillion dollars.
Yeah.
And if they can't make him work, they're going to get cents on the dollar for him
Yeah.
if they can move him at all. What I would like to see is for them to pick their spots a lot more and maybe adapt the defensive system
Mhm.
slightly, like try and get some hedges in there, like get
Yeah.
some things that they can um like where they're not playing as aggressively 100% of the time.
Yeah.
The thing is that like if you have Emmanuel Quickly following guys around screens and not trying to like blow up a play with his hands
Yeah.
or like these blind doubles and like these ridiculous kind of over helps where the defense is scrambling,
Yeah.
then you're not going to be good. You're just going to
Yep.
be regular bad instead of like nuclear bad,
Yeah.
which the past couple of games, they've been better. With that said, big asterisks there. They've been playing against teams without
Yep.
their star players. So
Exactly.
especially against Memphis, they looked really good defensively
Yeah.
because Memphis does not have a advantage creator. They don't have
They didn't even have Scottie Pippen Jr. in the game, who's a
no.
great player, right?
Yeah,
But
he's a good player.
yeah,
But
exactly.
they don't have like an on-ball creator
Yep.
outside of John Morant.
Yep.
And they like Pat Spencer, what was like 1 for 7 or 1 for
Yep.
6 or whatever in that game.
Yep.
And he's not a downhill player. He's not a guy who can use screens that
Yep.
can get into the paint and make plays for everybody else. He's like a game manager.
Yep.
And yeah, Emmanuel Quickly is going to be able to guard that guy.
Yep.
What I want to be able to see is for him to be able to play to his strengths and
Yep.
not be forced to play this like defensive scheme that is going to have him looking terrible.
Yeah.
Just terrible, and probably wearing him out too. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe that's part of the reason that he's here's the cope creeping in. Maybe that's why he's been so bad on offense too. Who knows?
It's the cope I used for Scotty when OG left and he had to become the primary defender and his offensive numbers went down. I was like, well, he's tired all the time, obviously, right? And I think there is some truth to it, obviously, but yeah, there's a layer of cope, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Although, I mean, the last couple of games, especially just in terms of offense, I've been pleased with the fact that they're able to like it's like they've got kind of a point factory going on. Like when they go down the court, they're looking for fast break, which every team should be doing.
Yeah.
They are looking to push the ball in transition. That's great. I love that. Number 2, they are sharing the ball on offense. They're letting it flow. And then if the shot clock starts ticking down, they give it to Brandon Ingram. Wow, that's amazing. That's exactly what they should be doing. And then the shooting percentages, like just being able to stretch the floor, take good shots, try and score at the rim. Like it seems like there's a real big emphasis from those 3 players to get to their spots. For Scotty and RJ, going inside is going to be their most efficient shot. I mean, once Scotty's shot cools down a little bit, and Ingram is like a 50% shooter with between 10 and 16 feet, so he can take that shot as much as he wants to, as far as I'm concerned. But it's like they are hunting for the shots that they're good at.
Yeah.
Scotty's game has matured. Like, yeah, he's shooting threes, but he's not only shooting threes. He's going inside. He's playing off of the ball and doing all the stuff that he should be doing. Like the offensive process looks amazing. I wouldn't change that. The only thing I would change is maybe making IQ more of an off-ball player until Jakob Poeltl gets back. On defense, they got to figure something out. And they got to figure it out before Jakob Poeltl gets back because I want Jakob Poeltl to come back and not be forced to put out every single fire that's wrong with the team.
Yeah.
I want him to come back and help the team get better, I don't want him to have to be the fireman that puts everything out.
Yep.
I think this might be a good moment for the team to try and forge a defensive identity and learn the scheme when it is hard, when it isn't just sort of easy mode, press the button, let the center help everybody out and fix all the problems.
Definitely.
And maybe they can do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like they're not like what we're seeing is not them getting like fried one-on-one. Like they're getting beat by a single pass, not two passes.
Yeah.
It's the best shot is one pass away because the choices they're making, and I think Darko summed it up by saying we're playing aggressive, but we're playing too close. Like we're too much in their jersey and maybe over pressuring. Okay, I think that's obviously some element of it, but the choices they're making is a little crazy. Like I think the one that made the rounds the most was that Kevin Durant three where they tripled Şengün, right? Like Kevin Durant laughed about it and mentioned it
They
post
mocked
game.
them.
Yeah, right. Like that's embarrassing, right? But it's like, how is your decision? Like if you've got, I don't know if it was Scotty or Colin, whatever, who is the primary
It was
defender
Colin.
on. Yeah, that is a fine primary defender on Şengün. He is very
Oh
good.
no! Sorry. No, it wasn't either of those. It was actually I rewatched the clip after I did it.
Okay.
It was Brandon Ingram.
Okay, so I get trying to help off of that then,
Yeah.
if that's the case.
But
even
bring the
so,
help from under the basket because
yeah,
he's going to the
exactly.
basket anyway. Have the defense come from under the basket.
Yep.
Have CMB stay at home. If Şengün can make a pass where he threads the needle and finds a guy in the corner who you've peeled the help off of, like from the weak side corner, but you can't help one pass away from the greatest scorer of all time. That's so stupid. That is
you don't give up like a contested, or you don't prioritize a contested two over an open three.
No,
right?
exactly.
Like it doesn't make any sense. And hopefully that was a learning experience for them too, because Darko live coaches and everything, and hopefully he was able to point that out and go, what the hell is this? Like they'll see that in film. They'll see that. They'll hopefully make adjustments on that of the overhelping, the blind doubles, the stuff that just isn't working that maybe looked awesome in summer league against guys who aren't going to make the league, but you're playing against guys who are, Şengün very talented, Durant very talented, Giannis. All these guys are going to eat that for breakfast if that's what you're giving them.
No doubt about it. And like in the NBA, I mean, maybe like everybody can shoot. Like almost everybody can shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Like centers can shoot the ball.
Yep.
Role players can shoot the ball. The guy off of the bench that you've never heard his name, they can shoot the ball. A lot of the strategies that involve leaving somebody open, it has to involve a good closeout.
Yep.
Like it has to involve a closeout that is, has a hand in the face, has a hand whizzing by the ball, has to put a little bit of fear in the shooter. Otherwise, it is going to be like you're gonna lose games. There's just, you have to make the degree of difficulty of the shot higher than an open shot if you're gonna win.
Yeah, that was Nick Nurse's thing where it was like, we'll leave the like the farthest corner shot open, but we're gonna have Siakam, Scotty, OG have a chance to close it out, right? And like those are all very athletic players, long players, all with a 7-foot wingspan. Like it's not the worst shot, even though you don't want to give up corner threes. It's not the worst shot because it's a corner three under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and they do the super strong closeout where they try and they would run at the player and not slow down. They do the flyby, I think it was called.
Yeah, and if you're Scotty, you're screaming at them as you do it.
Yeah, and the idea is that it's like this guy's going to run into me, right? Yeah. And so there's some little reptile part of your brain that's like panics or something.
Yeah, you're playing chicken with him, exactly.
And that is at least a little bit of something that's there. When you are literally like there's no help, like there's no X out, there's no rotation, there's nothing. That is not defense. That's just you're not playing defense.
Yeah,
you've made a mistake.
Yeah,
and that's not really a defensive strategy, and that's something that I really want to see very much of in the immediate future. So hopefully they are able to control their aggression. They're able to rein things in a little bit on that end, because I'm kind of getting tired of that. Yeah. We have one last micro point here, which is IQ's 3-point shot coming back.
Yep.
And I said, I said, you got to wait until his 3-point shot comes back before you judge him
Yep.
as a point guard. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, his 3-point shots come back and he's not playing very, he doesn't look like the point guard that we were all hoping for.
Yeah.
So, okay. I feel a little stupid, but as you mentioned, he's over 50% in 3 of the past 4 games
Yep.
that he's played. He's taken his 3-point shooting from I think 11% or something, and now he's up to almost 30%, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So, I'm happy with that. And one thing I did like from the last game was when they were using him running off of screens.
Yeah.
And he had a really nice screen from Grady where he came off of that, squared up and nailed the jump shot. Just do more of that, maybe.
Yeah.
That should be, maybe that's the solution, is that if you're going to have him touch the ball, have him as the play finisher, as the shooter that's running around screens. He is one of the best shooters on the team.
Yep.
There were so many people in the comments of the videos who were like, well, it's never coming back. It's over. The shots. I'm like, guys, you know that he's made over 1,800 threes in his career.
Wow.
This is not, you're talking about 11 shots versus 1,800.
Yeah.
You got to chill.
Yep.
The shot will come back. The shot has come back. So maybe it's just time to kind of feature him in that kind of role. Tell him he's Steph.
Yeah.
Hey, IQ, we want you in that Steph role. Okay.
Yeah.
We want you coming off those screens. Scotty, you're going to be like Draymond. Okay. Maybe don't tell him that. But say listen, we want you running off those screens and banging those threes.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, Darko mentioned that he's trying to keep IQ's confidence up and stuff, right? And it's you see IQ searching, where it's if he's bricking threes, okay, so he's going to drive because he's still trying to get his offense off, right? And it's I had a thought where I was like, where is this green light coming from when he, anytime that he's monopolizing the offense? And then I remembered back to the day that him and Scotty Barnes signed their contracts, right? And if you remember that production that they put on, where they had them up on stage and they, gave them their own rooms with all their accolades and custom stuff and everything, right? Masai elevated IQ to the same position as Scotty by doing that, saying, these are our 2 guys who basically it's their team, right? Yep. Which I thought was an interesting choice, but we were all very excited for Emmanuel and it was okay, cool. So you got to kind of wonder what that does with someone's mental when they're offered that and then players are brought in Ingram and stuff like that and then maybe not told, because I don't get the vibe that Darko does a lot of tough love, and I don't get that he discourages players a lot. So I don't think he told him, hey man, less shots, less offense. I don't think that's ever happened. So he all players are confident. He knows he's a good basketball player. So I'm not really surprised that he, is willing to take offensive chances and has that green light when this has kind of been how he's been set up and how, he's got confidence in himself, right?
Yeah, they gave him the big shoes, the big clothes, and said time to grow into these, right? Yeah. And a lot of players can't do that. They end up looking ridiculous because they've got this dad suit on and they're walking around child-sized. But it's unfortunate, and I think it's bad right now, and I am going to be more patient than I think a lot of people are, and that might be the wrong thing to do. That might be, obviously I can't do anything. If we're talking about them, we're not, making any decisions here. But I need a bigger sample size than this. I need more than 7 games. It doesn't look pretty right now. I'm just going to admit that right now.
But I've always thought that it's better to be proven wrong while being positive than to be proven right while being negative, because what do you gain at the end of the day? Oh, great, you said that IQ was going to suck and then he sucked. Cool.
Yeah. I think there's that. But then there's also I don't want to be called a homer. I get it. I probably am, but I want to have just a little bit of a little bit of vinegar in the takes, where it's not all just, blowing smoke up of people's rear ends.
Yeah.
I want to have, takes where I'm trying to look at things objectively and trying to figure out what's wrong or what's right with whatever's going on. And I admit right now, like, for sure, like, it's not looking good for Emmanuel Quickly.
Yeah.
I got to say that. But I mean, I've seen enough from him. Like, I've watched this guy for a while now, and he has looked at times like this guy could be the next great guard for the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
Like when he was playing with the Knicks, I was like, wow, if only the Raptors could get this guy. He looks like an up and coming star.
That was everybody's perspective. There was like every podcast was like, oh, who's going to steal Emmanuel Quickly away from the Knicks? This guy's going to be a starter. Like that was the vibe around the thing. So like you can't really go back and go, oh, I guess I was wrong. It's like, no, everybody thought this about him because he does like have that potential. He can shoot despite what he's been doing, and he's talented, right? So yeah, I mean like and I get like he's been one of the most used players in Trade Machine lately. People are ready to move on because we react very quickly to things. But the move that the front office is going to do, and we should all do, is just chill for a minute and see if it comes back. Because making a big move does it immediately throws a wrench in everything that you're building. You now need to have a new player adapt to everything, and that could throw off the brilliance of the top three guys. You know, maybe that immediately, like if you bring in somebody like John Morant, like that pushes RJ to fourth option, or does Scotty take less shots, and then all of a sudden,
I
you're
don't
breaking something that works. Yeah, like
and then there's the personality stuff and all the like. The Toronto Raptors, like, I get it. I get the criticism. Like, I see what people say. Like, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, they just want to get these nice guys, and nice guys finish with blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You don't have to be an asshole to play basketball. It's, believe it or not, it's not a requirement. You don't have to be. And there are a lot of really good, nice guys who play the game. Maybe they're not like choir boys, but they're not dickheads. They're like normal. Like, you or me. Like when I have a bad day, maybe you hear me say stuff that isn't very nice, but on the whole, I think I'm a pretty normal guy. I want guys like that on the team that aren't going to, pout and not refuse to play defense and do all that garbage that you see that we're seeing from John Morant. And yeah, the guy is so talented. I get it. The guy is like unbelievably talented. But on top of the fact that there's the bad mojo stuff, if he was like perfectly suited for the Toronto Raptors, like if he was the puzzle piece that fit into the Toronto Raptors puzzle, I could maybe swallow the, stuff about him being a bit of a, diva or whatever. But the fact that there is the fit issue where he doesn't fit in the puzzle. And yeah, he's like a really exciting puzzle piece. And maybe you got to throw out some of the other puzzle pieces to fit him in. But then you add on top of that the personality issues and all that. I'm not super hyped on bringing him in because he doesn't play defense. The Raptors need defense. He doesn't shoot the ball. Raptors need guys who can shoot the ball from the guard spot at least. So yeah, not high on that. I'm not totally against a Quickly trade. If the right trade comes along, like, absolutely, you gotta trade the guy. But I think that nobody's going to be offering a trade like that right now. And I also think that it is quite early in the season. And there is a reason why at the beginning of a season, everybody is like overreacting. Yeah. It's because you have a sample size that is that big. Yeah. But in your brain, because you've only seen 7 games of basketball, it carries so much more weight than 7 games would in the middle of the season, 7 games at the end of the season. Let's say you had a player who played normally for the whole season, and then the last 7 games of the season, they play like Emmanuel Quickly, right? Has these past 7 games. You're going to be like, who gives a crap? He played like normally the whole season. These past 7 games were very good, but like I saw how he played before that, right? Yep. So those 7 games are the same sample size, but at the end of the season, instead of the beginning of the season, you're going to be like, okay, there's no problem here. You put those at the beginning of the season, people are like, the sky is falling because they have no context. They can't put it into a context in which, they are able to make a sound decision.
Yeah,
So
and any advanced stat is crazy loud, just like
right,
from
exactly.
one bad
Not even
performance or
advanced
anything.
stats. Not even
Yeah,
advanced stats. 3-point
honestly.
percentage. People are like, he's shooting 11% from 3-point range. How can we keep this guy? It's like, yeah, because he's taking 11 threes.
Yeah. No, and like have you heard that kind of like concept of like the speed of passage of time as you get older? Like like
I
like
don't
okay,
bring that up.
but like
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
years
Yeah,
feel longer. Like if you're 4 years old, it's a quarter of your life.
yeah,
So it
exactly.
obviously feels longer. When you're 20 years old, a year like
Yeah, your
it's
boo boos seem apocalyptic because you've never
yeah,
felt pain before.
exactly, right?
Yeah,
And it's like
absolutely. It's the exact same thing.
it,
Yeah,
it kind of is accelerate, and that's exactly what happens with the season as it goes along. So patience is probably the most needed thing from a fan base, and
and you don't have to
just
be patient forever.
yeah, yeah,
Be
but
patient until game 21 or
yeah,
22, one quarter of the season. If you
no,
give it
no,
to that 2021 games and he still sucks and he doesn't fit and it's
yeah,
all horrible, like, yeah, let's think about how we can unload this guy. Let's
yeah,
try and pump his value. Say, like, hey,
yeah,
Scotty and RJ and Ingram, listen, you guys are going to shoot, you know, 15 times instead
yeah,
of 20 times,
yeah.
uh, and then all those extra shots are going to go to Emmanuel quickly.
The Danny Ainge value bump.
Yeah,
If you
exactly.
see Laurie Markkinen scoring at the rate of like prime Joel Embiid right now, it's because Danny Ainge is trying to move him. He did this 2 years ago when he averaged 25 points a game. They are funneling him beautiful open catch and shoots. They got a lot of good passers on the Utah Jazz. That's what they're trying to do. So if you have to do the value bump, then you do the value bump when it comes along. We tried to do it with Malachi Flynn once upon a time. It's what you got to do. But I think, yeah, patience until then. You got to give him 20-something games. Same with Darko.
Yeah.
Darko has flaws. Darko's not a perfect coach in any means,
No.
but just know the front office is not making any moves based off of, 7 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
20 games, what's going to happen at 20 games is that the front office is going to look at what's happening and they're going to go like, okay, this is a significant sample size. Things don't
Hmm.
seem to be working. And then for the next 20 games, they're going to be trying to figure out a way to fix the problem.
Yeah.
And maybe one of the ways that they try and fix that problem is by doing what we just said, which is like trying to find a way to make him look more appealing to a
Yeah.
potential trade suitor. And like, so that's the kind of thought process you got to be thinking about. And when you're thinking about that, you can't be looking at like the shiniest toy in the store. You got to be
Hmm.
looking at other teams' bad contracts. You got to
Yep.
be looking at another guy who's maybe in the wrong context,
Yep.
who's like, okay, here's this guard who's paid too much money,
Hmm.
but he's really good at defense and he can shoot the three
Yep.
and, make a couple of passes, bring the ball up the floor. If you can find a guy like that who's like way overpaid, then hey, let's do some business here. Emmanuel
Yep.
quickly.
The
Maybe.
only other the only other option is including a ton of picks
Yeah.
like the Magic did, and that does not seem to be paying off for them with what Desmond Bane has been putting out this year. I don't know what it is about the Magic. They bring in a 3-point shooter and now they shoot terribly. So
I love that
that's
move for them, so I can't say anything
yeah,
bad
I
about it. I
I
thought it was
love
going to
it
be a
too.
great move for them.
I love it too. I think it probably still work out, but
Hmm.
all of a sudden he's shooting like under 30% or under 33%, like career lows for some reason, and it's already getting criticized as a move. They need some patience with that.
No doubt.
But again, to
They,
get
they
off of
might need
like
a coaching change themselves. Because like
honestly, that
while I love their defense and
yep,
like how they've Jacques Vaughn has coached them,
yep.
like
Or
oh, not what am I saying? Not Jacques Vaughn.
Mosley,
Yeah,
Jamal
Jamal Mosley.
Mosley,
Jamal
yeah,
Mosley. Jacques Vaughn.
yeah,
Gosh, that's
bald guy with a beard.
yeah.
It's
There you go. Coach the Magic once upon a time.
yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
But yeah,
But
the defense wise, beautiful. Offense,
the offense is like it's also very rudimentary.
yeah,
Like it's like give the ball to Will Smith in
yeah,
what's it called, Fresh Prince,
yeah,
like that's the strategy. Give the ball to Will.
yeah,
It's kind of like that for the Magic. They need somebody who can like run like come up with something creative to do with like two really like Banchero has been pretty bad this season, but like they got to find ways to get easier buckets. It just seems so labored and awful for them.
And you've got Mike Malone, Thibodeau, all these people sitting at home who are good coaches who should be coaching a team in the league. You know, I don't know why. I mean, it looks like the Pelicans are going to fire Willie Green soon because he has been pretty terrible, and they are definitely not trying to tank considering they don't have their pick. So they might see some coaching shakeups, and I don't anticipate it'll be us anytime soon.
Well, I think it won't be us first. I don't think it's going to be the Raptors first. It might happen though. I think Darko's seat is simmering right now. It's not. It's not. You know, at 10, but maybe it's on low. Just keeping it warm to get him, you know, a little motivated. In any case, you know, hey, we did have a lot to talk about here. An hour and 20 minutes thereabouts. I hope everybody enjoyed the podcast. I thought it was a good one. Steve, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely.
If you haven't already, join the Discord. Lots of people talking there. I'll leave a link in the description of the YouTube video. Once this stops going live, I'll put that info in there. Join up. There's a Patreon. Put that in there as well. That'll help Steve and I. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Raptors Report, your source for in-depth Raptors content. Take care.